What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I wanted to do a budget rifle kind of a series, but I wanted to start off with painting a rifle and how to do so if you want to rattle can spray it. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, and I'll show you guys. Before we get into that, I just want to say continue to like, comment, and subscribe. Share with a friend, and I appreciate all the support. Hit that notification so you get notified of new videos. Enough about that. So let's get into it. So what I have in here and what I'm going to be spraying with you guys today, so you guys see how I spray my guns, which is just rattle can spray. I don't do cerakote. Is I got a upper from BCM for one of my guns, which is a budget build. BCM isn't so budget. They make awesome uppers, but you could get them at a budget. This was a blem. So they have like a part of their website where they have blemishes. And this is my second one, and I could never find the blem. And you're saving like $300. So if you could find your specs, awesome. So I wanted to order a 14.5-inch mid-length upper. It is an upper enhanced. I got it with a blem, and it was like under $700. It was like $630. So at a good price. Anyway, that's what we're going to be doing today. So out of the box, let's open up and show you what you get here from BCM. So they pack it with a lot of paper, which is good because we'll use this when we're going to spray our rifle. All right. And as you open it in, they also give you a lot of bubble wrap. Let's get here. And here is the upper. They also supply you with a sticker sheet, which is cool. Thank you, BCM. So this is their 14.5 blemish. And actually, this, I couldn't even tell you where there is a blem. And like I said, this is my second one at a savings like this, and I couldn't tell you. It looks like if I was buying it regular. So I don't know where the blem is. Don't care. Thank you for the savings, BCM. I'm down with it. That's all I got to say. One thing I could tell you, and we're going to prep this for spraying, is, I don't know if you could see in the video, but it is covered with oil for packing, which is great, but not great for spraying. You want to clean that all off, or when you spray, it's just not going to have good adhesion, right? So I'm just going to get rid of this box for now and throw it down. You also get, sorry, because I'm showing you what you get in the box. You get a QD attachment, which is cool, and a rail piece. They supply that in the box there with the stickers like I showed you. All right, let's throw that down there. So we're going to be spraying this. So let's talk about what I use for spraying, and that's Rust-Oleum Camouflage. This paint right here, it's about $7 a can. I've sprayed all my rifles with this stuff, and it is great. I love using this stuff. So for this particular rifle, and you see that I just have the upper, you're like, hey, where's the lower? I already had the lower already rattle can, so that's why I specifically picked these colors. So I did like an OD green, like a deep forest green, which is basically like a OD green or flat army green, like an FDE, which is it's not FDE by Rust-Oleum's, but I don't know. It's like a flat dark earth, but they call it something different. But I say it's flat dark earth. And we're also going to be using a flat army green, which is completely different from like the OD. It's like a very light green if you see the cap there. So that's what I already sprayed my lower. So that's why I picked these colors for the upper. There is one little different thing I use as a base, and I also used it on there, this is Wheeler's cerakote. So this is spray that you spray and you put in the oven. It's supposed to be kind of like a Duracoat, not a cerakote, because it's not that like that strong or that that kind of a coating. But you could bake it and it's supposed to stay on. Now I use it because it stays on a little better than this, and it's kind of like a great base coat. But I don't bake it on. I just use this as the base layer. So this is olive drab. It comes in a small can like that, but it goes a long way. So that's what I use as a base. You don't have to. I have basically sort of the same color in the Rust-Oleum here, and I spray it as well with that. I'll show you guys once we get into spraying. But I like to just give it a base of this. It's just how I've done it, and it's worked out well. It's kind of kept the paint on there better, if I could say. And then you take a stencil for how you want your camo to lay on. Some guys use a leaf. You could use, some branches, some evergreen, kind of things. I got these on Amazon. They give you a sheet. The reason I do kind of the little, they're kind of like holes with digital. It came out pretty cool. I don't know if you could see it on this rifle here, but it kind of just breaks it up, and that's where I'm going to use the light FDE color, or I think it's just called Earth on their color. I don't know why the can doesn't say the color and all the other ones do. That's definitely weird to me, but I don't know. This one doesn't have the color. Hey, whatever. It's on the cap, but whatever. It's like an FDE. We'll go with that. So the one thing I was saying is clean off this grease. I just use, where's mine? Just use a rag and some alcohol wipes. That's what I'm going to do now. So I'm just going to take that grease out of it, off of it, and just kind of use the alcohol wipes to help out with that. And then I use the microfiber towel, and I really just want to clean up all that grease. All right, that's what you're going to do. I'm not going to bore you with just cleaning it off. I'll do that in a second before we get into the next part of the video. But that's the one thing you want to do before you start prepping it out with painter's tape. What we're going to prep out with painter's tape is where you don't want to get painter's tape. So I'm going to be covering inside where the BCG goes. I'm going to be covering your forward assist. I'm going to cover that. I'm not going to cover the flash hider because this is coming off and it's going to be pinned and welded with a muzzle brake. In my state, for it to be legal, it has to be full 16 inches with a pinned and welded muzzle brake. So the 14.5 is cool. Once I put the muzzle brake on, pinned and welded, I'm legal. So I don't care about that. But if I had my muzzle brake on here, I would tape off that as well. Unless you want to paint over your muzzle brake, you can. I like leaving my muzzle brake the black color it comes with. And for that, just so you guys know, I'm going to be using a Huxwork QD muzzle brake because it's got the QD system. And if I want to use the Blasphemy Blast Shield, which I do, I've done in another video, I could use it. And in the future, when I move into a state that allows you to have cans, I will be able to put a Huxworth can on that. So what I'm going to be doing, just to not bore you, I'm going to clean it up with alcohol wipes, wipe it all down clean. I'm going to prep it with tape, and then when we come back, I'll change the camera angle a little bit. I'm just going to put cardboard down and start spraying this baby, and I'll show you guys when we get to that point. So come back, and we'll start spraying in a little bit. All right, dale. All right, guys, we're back. I'm over here now. So as you see, I prepped it. I just took the BCG out, stuffed painter's tape in there. It's okay if a little gets in there, but I don't want the buildup of paint inside there. I also covered the forward assist, and now I'm going to start spraying with my wheelers. And you're just going to be doing a coat all over the rifle, just like that. Okay, just like that. And you might take a few coats, you know. You don't want to go too crazy because you don't want to have drips. So you kind of just want to go even strokes back and forth. Can always go back later, so don't stress if you missed a spot. I'm doing the rail right now, but again, I'm going to be going over with different paints. Okay, so you don't have to go crazy. All I did was close the dust port so nothing gets in there. Again, that's kind of my first. That's my first coat right there of the cerakote by Wheeler, and now I'm gonna let that just dry. I usually put a fan on it for it to fan, which I'm gonna do now. Once it's dry, I'll turn it over and give it a coat. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna let this dry a little bit, and when we come back, it will have a coat. All right, guys. All right, guys, we're back. I dried, so now I'm just gonna be turning it over to get the underside where I couldn't get it again. All right, we're just using the cerakote. We haven't gotten into the Rust-Oleum. This is just the base coat still. And now again, make sure it's spraying good. And now, just gonna spray there. Spray the underside. Right there. Good to get right under the rails. Any little nooks and crannies you're missing. Again, remember, this is just a base coat, so you don't have to go nuts here. We're going to have more paint to come, but that's basically it. Okay, I think we're good there. Enough on that. Make sure you have ventilation or you're going to be a little lightheaded and high like I am. But again, if you put a fan on it, or it's warm out, like it's warm and I have a fan on, so it's drying pretty quickly. So I'm going to let that dry and we turn it over. I'll show you guys how I mix the colors a little bit. All right, guys? All right, guys, we're back. It's dry. I'm going to start adding some other colors. And one of those colors are going to be very similar to this. It might be a little shade off the Rust-Oleum. But again, I just use this as a base coat. One thing I wanted to say is if you're going to spray your full rifle, not just the upper, there's a little more prep involved. You are going to want to put tape around your trigger, tape around anything that you don't want to get paint on, which is really your trigger, inside your mag well, things like this. But since this is the upper, that's all I had to kind of tape out. All right, just wanted to throw that in there so if you do paint the whole rifle, which like I said before, guys, I do have the upper, I mean the lower, and just to show you guys, this was the lower that I sprayed already when I had a different upper, so that's how it's going to look with some flat dark earth, the lighter green, the darker green, just like that. I kind of like it. It's not the best, but looks good on the rifle. Again, I've used this rifle for a bit, so it's starting to wear off at some spots. And then that's a cool thing about spraying them like this rattle can. You just spray them again when they wear off or you're tired of the color. You change the color. You just, get different rattle cans. But that's it. I just want to show you kind of the pattern I'm going for. Enough about that. Let me put this over here. So now you're going to take your colors, and I'm going to use these two colors. It's just two shades of green. And what I do is, the reason I put it on its side opposed to just straight like I had it before, just so I could see my lines of how I want the colors. And what I do now is, I already prepped them, so make sure you spray and you make sure you're getting a good spray and there's no bubbles. And now I just start I go light green here, okay, just like that. Top rail, boom, 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 okay. Then I go with the dark green, okay. I prepped this one too, but I just want to make sure. Okay, it's spraying good. Take some dark green. See how it's a little different from the green from before? Cool. Okay. There. All right. And I take, and now I'm going to leave a little bit of that olive drab cerakote on its own because I like the way it's looking. Once you start doing, you can say, okay, I'm going to leave that alone. So now I'm going to go for light over here. All right, we have light there. Cool, cool, cool. And I'll end it off with the tip on this color right here. Boom, boom, boom. Just like that. Okay. Again, if you got a few little bubbles like I got there, I got a little overspray. Make sure you're spraying good. Okay, that's a good spray. Come back, and I just fix it real quick. Fix some overspray there. Make sure I get it where I want it on the top rail there. Good. So this is when you just go in and you kind of just fill in a little bit. Say, okay, I could use a little bit there. Good there. Good. Good there. Remember, we're going to turn it on the other side to get it. But right there is pretty good. Remember, we're still going to add the flat dark with the stencil once this is completely how we want it. So right now, basically, there's about 4 shades because this green was different from the olive drab, and I left a little middle of that just to give it a different color, just because once I saw it, I liked the way it looked. But that's it, guys. I'll do the other side, but that's what I do. What I do is I turn this around. Once it's dried, I'm going to put the fan on, and I try to match that pattern on the other side, finish it all off, and at the end, I'll bring the video back just to show you when I put the stencil. And that's going to be it. So let me start drying this, and I'll see you guys at the end spot. All right, guys. So basically, both sides are dry now. Now I'm going to do my stencil part and use the brown color, or kind of like the FDE sand color. Now, what you want to do is just find like a good pattern where you like what the holes look, and you just give it a little Oops, sorry to shake the camera. But just like that, you're just going to go back and forth, find a nice pattern, hit it. Go to the next. I found a good pattern, hit it. Right? You're not going crazy. If you miss a spot, you could always go back and hit it just like that. I'm going to go here, hit it just like that. Going here, hitting it. Okay. If I want to go, there's some bigger ones. Now, if you want to find like a different pattern, you could put a different pattern on there. Some holes are bigger than the other. So I got some holes right there. Hit that, just like that. Pattern there, just like that. Again, hole there. Yep, just like that. Want to put some more on the end here? I can. Just like that. And as you see, there it is. All right. And now let it dry. See how you like it. You don't have to go back and forth right now. Right now it looks pretty good. I have some on there. Right. I'm going to let that dry and then I'll go to the next side. And that's it. It's just playing around. It's not rocket science. Because, you know, like here I went double. It looks a little off. When it dries up, it looks fine, guys. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. This isn't, you know, a digital cerakote. This is Rattle can, and man, be your own painter, dude. It don't matter. That's what I'm trying to tell you. At the end of the day, you could cover this up right now. If I don't like this, I just go back to the base colors, cover it, and start all over again. I don't go perfection on this. I use my guns. They get banged up. They get scratched up, and I respray them. But to each their own. I get it. I do have OCD for some things, but on this one, I let it go. So that's it, guys. I'm not going to go crazy into it. That's basically how it is. I just spray the colors. Do the colors you want. You could add browns into this, which I have. It really depends on, you know, the colors that you like by you. Right now, it's summertime. I have a lot of greens and these light colors in my backyard. That's what I like, and I like these camo patterns. But in the winter, sometimes I throw some browns in there. So it's open to any color you like, man. They make this rattle can in all colors. I have browns. I have darker tans. Darker browns, darker greens. So you know you could go all out how you want. But that's basically it. Again, I got these guys at the hardware store. They're about $7 a can. One can goes a very long way. My tip is you could use this cerakote as a base. It seems to really hold a good base. And if you ding it up, it holds a little better than the Rust-Oleum. But you don't have to get this to spray your gun. This is, and if you want to bake it in, you can, to really have like a set base. My buddy bakes this in. Again, I don't. I'm a little less, you know, OCD about it. But again, and the stencils, I got these on Amazon. It came with a whole pack of different stencils, like digital camo. These are like holes. It has another one with like tiger stripes. It has tons of them. It came with a pack of 12. It was like $10. Got this on Amazon. Again, it's open to how you want to do it. That's it, guys. I just wanted to do a quick video on that, on showing you. The prep is really where it's at. Make sure you clean all the grease off of it with some alcohol. Wipe it down, and that'll what'll set a good color on there, and it'll stay on there. And that's it, guys. I will see you on the next one. I'll post a picture of this rifle when it's completely done, and we'll also talk about the budget build in a different video. That's it, guys. It was just a quick tutorial on how to paint your gun. Dale, the Puerto Rican way. You know what I'm saying?